Imagine the silence. It's not the quiet of a peaceful Sunday morning. It's the heavy, suffocating silence of a machine that has stopped working. No hum from the refrigerator. No distant roar of traffic on the highway. No notifications pinging on your phone. Just the sound of your own heartbeat getting faster as you realize the grid didn't just blink. It died. Day 1 is confusion. Day 3 is panic, but by day 10? That's when the veneer of civilization evaporates. The friendly neighbor who waves at you every morning, he's not waving anymore. He's looking at your windows, wondering if you have what his children are crying for. Most people, 99% of the population, are betting their lives on a system that is held together by duct tape and computer code. They think help is coming. They think the trucks will restock the shelves. But you are here because you feel it in your gut. You know that when the system breaks, no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. But here's the good news. You don't need $1 million bunker. You don't need to look like a soldier from a video game. You need a system. A boring, redundant, unsexy system that works when everything else fails. Today, I am going to give you the keys to that system. This is the 15-item fortress. It's not just stuff. It's a blueprint for Civilization 2.0. These 15 items are the difference between waiting to die and starting to rebuild. Let's build your fortress. Item 1. The kidney of the house. Water filtration. Let's start with the absolute non-negotiable. You can live 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. And in a collapse, dirty water is a faster killer than any bullet. Item number 1 is not a filter. It is your new municipal water department. I'm talking about a high-capacity, gravity-fed filtration system. Think Berkey, Pro One, or a Dalton ceramic setup. Why gravity? Because pumps fail. Electricity dies. Gravity is the only energy source that will last forever. Most beginners buy a life straw and think they are safe. A life straw is for a hike. A gravity system is for a household. You need something that can take the brown, murky water from a rain barrel or a nearby pond and turn it into crystal clear life support. It needs to filter out bacteria, viruses, and heavy metals. Pro tip, don't just buy the unit. Buy 3 sets of replacement elements. In a grid-down scenario, a spare filter element is worth more than a gold bar. It is the literal filter between life and death for your family. Item 2. The liquid asset, bulk water storage. If the filter is the factory, item 2 is the warehouse. Bulk water storage. Here is the brutal truth. You cannot filter what you do not have. When the taps run dry, they stay dry. You need a buffer. I'm talking about 55-gallon food-grade blue barrels. Or if you are in an apartment, stackable 5-gallon water bricks. You need a minimum of 200 gallons on site. This sounds like a lot until you realize that flushing a toilet once wastes more water than you drink in a day. This reserve buys you the most precious commodity in a crisis: time. While your neighbors are fighting over the last case of Dasani at Walmart, you are calm. You have weeks of hydration sitting quietly in your garage. This calmness allows you to make rational decisions while everyone else is making desperate ones. Item 3. The engine room. The calorie core. Now let's talk about fuel. Not food. Fuel. Item 3 is your calorie core. Forget the fancy freeze-dried meals that cost a fortune. They are great for morale, but they are not the engine. Your engine runs on the big 5: rice, beans, wheat, oats, and pasta. These are the boring champions of survival. They last for 30 years if packed correctly in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. They are cheap, dense, and tradable. But here is the secret sauce: salt and spices. A mountain of rice will keep you alive, but without salt, your body will shut down. Without spices, your mind will break from appetite fatigue. You will literally starve with a full bowl of food because your brain refuses to eat another bite of plain white rice. Stockpile salt like it's currency because it will be. Item 4. The bodybuilders, proteins and fats. Carbs keep the lights on, but fats and proteins build the house. Item 4 is your dense nutrient reserve. In a high-stress collapse scenario, your body burns calories like a furnace. If you only eat rice, you will waste away. You need canned meats, spam, tuna, chicken, huge jars of peanut butter, ghee clarified butter, and coconut oil. Why oil? Because oil is the densest form of energy you can store. A single gallon of olive oil has 30,000 calories. That is a survival cheat code. It takes up almost no space but provides massive fuel. And don't forget, canned food doesn't need cooking. In a situation where lighting a fire might give away your position, a can of corned beef is a stealth meal. It keeps you strong without painting a target on your back. Item 5. The hearth, off-grid cooking. You have the water, you have the food. Now, how do you make it edible without alerting the entire county? Item 5 is your redundant cooking system. You need layers here. Layer 1. A propane camp stove for quick indoor boiling, with ventilation. It's fast and clean. Layer 2. A rocket stove. This is your long-term workhorse. It can boil water with just a handful of twigs. It's highly efficient and produces very little smoke, which is crucial for security. Layer 3. Solar oven. Slow, yes. But it uses zero fuel and produces zero smoke. It works while you are doing other things like securing your perimeter. Fuel scarcity will be the shock that hits people the hardest. When the gas lines shut off, the person who can cook a hot meal is the king of the neighborhood. Hot food is not just nutrition. It is morale. It is a signal to your brain that civilization still exists inside your home. Item 6. The invisible shield, hygiene and sanitation. This is the one that kills the unprepared. History teaches us that in every major war or collapse, disease kills more people than weapons. Item 6 is your sanitation block. When the toilets stop flushing, your home becomes a biohazard zone in 48 hours. You need a plan for human waste. A bucket toilet system with heavy-duty bags and a massive supply of sawdust, kitty litter, or lime to cover the waste. But it goes beyond the toilet. You need gallons of bleach. Calcium hypochlorite is better because it doesn't expire. You need soap, lots of it. You need feminine hygiene products, enough for years. You need heavy-duty trash bags. Think of hygiene as your invisible shield. If you get dysentery in a grid-down world, there is no drip waiting for you. You die of dehydration in your own bed. Keeping clean is an act of tactical defense. Item 7. The second SUN, light and power. When the grid dies, the darkness is absolute. Item 7 is your microgrid. I'm not talking about a massive whole-house generator that screams, "I have resources," to everyone within a mile. I'm talking about a silent solar-based system. A solar generator like an EcoFlow or Jackery paired with portable panels. This system has one job: keep the criticals running. It charges your AAA batteries for headlamps. It charges your two-way radios. It runs a small USB fan. Light is psychological armor. Sitting in total darkness breeds fear. A simple LED lantern powered by the sun keeps the ghosts away and allows you to work, read, or plan after sunset. Crucial addition: headlamps. One for every family member, plus spares. Hands-free light is essential for medical tasks, repairs, or defense. Item 8. The surgeon's kit, trauma and sickness. Item 8 is not a first aid kit. A first aid kit is for a boo-boo. You need a field hospital. You need to categorize this into 2 boxes. Box A. Trauma. Tourniquets. Cat Gen 7. Israeli bandages. Chest seals. Clotting gauze. This is for when things go violent or accidents happen. You need to know how to stop a bleed in 60 seconds. Box B. Sickness. This is the slow killer. You need antibiotics. Learn about fish antibiotics if you can't get prescription. Antidiarrheals, Imodium is gold, painkillers, and antihistamines. And don't forget the chronic issue. If grandma needs blood pressure meds, and the pharmacy is closed forever, what is the plan? You need a deep stockpile of daily medications. Without them, the clock is ticking. Item 9. The hand of God, tools and repair. In a disposable society, we buy new things when old ones break. In a collapse, nothing is new anymore. Item 9 is your repair core. If you can't fix it, you don't own it. You need a comprehensive set of manual hand tools: hammers, saws, screwdrivers, wrenches, axes. No batteries required. But more importantly, you need consumables. Duct tape, zip ties, screws, nails, super glue, paracord. These are the ligaments that hold your shelter together. When a storm blows out a window or a pipe bursts, you are the contractor. Having a tool is useless if you don't have the fasteners. Stockpile screws and nails by the pound. They are cheap now, but priceless later. Item 10. The fortress hardening, security. You have food, water, and medicine. Now you are a target. Item 10 is security and hardening. This isn't just about guns and ammo, though they have their place. This is about layers of deterrence. Layer 1. Detection. Solar motion lights. Tripwire alarms that make noise. You need to know they are coming before they touch your door. Layer 2. Delay. Door armor kits. Longer screws in the strike plates. Security film on the windows so they shatter but don't break. You want to buy time. Layer 3. Defense. Whatever tool you choose to protect your life, have it, know how to use it, and have the maintenance kit for it. The goal isn't to fight a war. The goal is to make your home look like a hard target so the bad actors move on to the easier house down the street. It's ugly to say, but survival is often about being the prickly porcupine, not the soft rabbit. When the grid goes down, the silence isn't just lack of noise. It's lack of information. Information is oxygen. Without it, you are suffocating in rumors and panic. Item 11 is your comms package. The moment the cell towers die, we revert to 19th century information speeds. You need to be ahead of that curve. Level 1. NOAA weather radio, hand crank solar. This tells you if a storm is coming or if there's a government broadcast. Level 2. Shortwave radio. This lets you listen to the world. Is the collapse local? National? Global? Knowing this changes your strategy entirely. Level 3. Baofeng or GMRS radios. This is for your local team. You need to coordinate security patrols or supply runs without shouting across the street. Warning, in a collapse, listening is more important than talking. Be the gray man on the airwaves. Gather intel but keep your location a secret. Item 12. The thermal flask, climate control. Most modern homes are just fancy tents. Without HVAC, they freeze in winter and bake in summer. Item 12 is shelter hardening. You cannot heat a 3,000 square foot house with a wood stove efficiently. You need to shrink your world. We are talking about plastic sheeting and duct tape. You need to create a microclimate inside your home, usually one central room where everyone sleeps and eats. Seal the windows. Hang heavy blankets over doorways. Insulate the living hell out of that one room. Why? Because hypothermia is a quiet killer. It makes you sleepy, stupid, and then dead. In a grid-down winter, insulation is more valuable than ammunition. Item 13. The logistics, human-powered transport. Gasoline has a shelf life. Even if you have a car, the roads will be gridlocked or blocked by gangs. Item 13 is mobility. The world is about to get very big again. A 5-mile trip becomes a journey. You need a way to move heavy things, water, wood, scavenge supplies without burning calories you can't replace. You need wheels, a sturdy game cart used by hunters, a heavy-duty wheelbarrow, a bicycle with saddlebags and a trailer. Think about it. Can you carry 50 pounds of water for 3 miles? Maybe once. Can you do it every day? No. A cart lets you move 200 pounds with ease. Logistics wins wars. Be the master of logistics. Item 14. The reboot drive, the knowledge archive. Here is a hard truth. Your brain is not a hard drive. Under stress, cortisol floods your system, and you will forget things you thought you knew. Item 14 is the knowledge archive. The internet is gone. Google is dead. You need a physical library. I'm not talking about novels. I'm talking about manuals. Where there is no doctor, medical. The Encyclopedia of Country Living, Homesteading. Army Field Manuals. Security Engineering. Detailed local maps. Paper maps, not Google Maps. This library is how you reboot civilization. When your neighbor's kid has an infection, you don't guess. You look it up. When you need to build a water catchment system, you have the diagram. Knowledge is the only asset that multiplies when you share it. Item 15. The currency of connection, trade, and morale. Finally, item 15. This is the one that separates the survivors from the thrivers. Trade and morale goods. You cannot stockpile everything. Eventually you will need to trade. And you cannot survive on rice and beans alone. You need a reason to wake up in the morning, stockpile vices and comforts. Alcohol. Mini bottles are perfect for trade. Coffee. The most addictive substance on earth. People will work all day for a cup. Spices and sugar, playing cards, board games, instruments. When the world is gray and scary, a game of poker or a hot cup of coffee with a neighbor restores humanity. It builds alliances. It buys loyalty. In a barter economy, the person with the coffee is the banker. So there you have it. The 15 pillars of your fortress. Water, food, cooking, hygiene, power, medicine, tools, security, comms, shelter, transport, knowledge, and trade. Looking at this list, you might feel overwhelmed. Good. That feeling is your brain waking up from the normalcy bias coma. But do not let it paralyze you. The biggest enemy right now isn't the collapse. It's procrastination. You don't need to buy all 15 items today. But you must buy one item this week. Go to the store. Buy 20 pounds of rice. It costs less than a pizza. Buy a water filter. Buy a first aid manual. Just start building. The world is fragile. The system is straining. The signs are everywhere for those who have eyes to see. You have a choice. You can be the victim who waits for a rescue that never comes. Or you can be the builder, the one who stands firm when the storm hits. The one who has the water, the food, and the plan to keep their family alive. The clock is ticking. The grid is humming. For now, make your move. I'll see you on the other side.